Right folks, and here it is. I did explain to you on the page, and I've said a few times, that it's not exactly on the drifting topic. We were bringing you something a wee bit different, a wee bit special, and on the off season of the drifting, to keep the content nice and fresh, we were going to get you something special, show you something special. Here it is in a hole. Bang. Audi R8 V10 5.2 naturally aspirated. This is the carbon black edition. This has got all the bells, all the whistles. Look at the carbon here. There's carbon here. There's carbon absolutely everywhere in this beast of a car. Get you a quick run around. You're going to see in the video exactly. We'll get you a good video of it for the vlog. And we're going to introduce you to the fella that owns this car. He's a local man. He's from the city. Stephen. How are we doing?
Not too bad. How you getting on now? How's things doing?
This is Stephen McCaul. This is the owner of the R8. Stephen has a bit of things for Audis. It went from, well, I'll let him explain to you exactly what it is. So we're going to explain a wee bit about the car. Stephen will tell us a wee bit about the car and how he's came to acquire this car, absolute animal of a car, and maybe why the Audis and what's the crack. So explain to us, Stephen, the history of you with Audis and how you've became to get to this R8 V10.
Yep, right, okay, so I think it was back in maybe 2014, 2015, I had, I took a car from my father actually. It was an A7, it was one of the 3-litre TDIs. Yeah. It was a lovely white one, a lovely car, and I remember being a wee bit younger and putting the RS7 badges and all on and thinking maybe people will believe it, like. But no, then I moved on from that to, I bought an RS5 in early 2019. Absolutely loved it, really did. It was a 4.2 V8 naturally aspirated, really nice car. At the time I was torn between that and an M3. Went for that for the Quattro. You know, I just thought, right, look, okay, the conditions in Ireland, I had never had a rear wheel drive, so I thought I would stick with a 4-wheel, and it worked out well. It was a great car, done plenty of supercar runs, made a lot of great friends, met a lot of really nice people. From there then, a year later in 2020, I bought, actually no, later on that year, that's not true, 2019, I bought a 3-litre TDI, a brand new A6. Lovely red car. It was the mild hybrid. It was 290 brake.
I've never seen that car,
I had it, I mapped it and stuff like that. It was sitting at about 380. It was probably just below the power of the RS5. So then in 2021, I sold 2 of them. I thought, right, okay, I don't need 2 cars. I'll sell the 2 of them and I would buy the RS7. Yep. You know, at the time actually I was thinking about the R8, but I needed the...
Before Steve goes any further, I will include pictures of these animals that he's on about before this happened.
Yeah.
So I go ahead, Stephen.
And I'll even give you some good videos of the RS7 taking on 488s and stuff like that.
There we go.
And actually winning. So I sold the 2, sold the RS5, sold the A6, and I bought the RS7. Bought the RS7 brand new. Yeah. Bought it over in England. Absolutely lovely car. Genuinely loved it. Done a wee bit of work to it, changed the wheels, put spacers, lowered it, put on the E-Venturi air intake, the Miltech downpipes, and
you didn't go back anyway?
No, I went all in, and I'll tell you, that was as quick a car. There was very few cars that ever passed me on the road in that RS7. But the reason I bought the RS7 at the time was because I have 3 boys and I needed the space in the car. Yeah. Otherwise, when I sold the 2 cars back in 2021, I would have bought an R8. Yeah. And then obviously I wouldn't have had the space. So Then I kept the RS7 for 2 years, almost 2 years to the day. Had great fun in it, had some great experiences, met some absolutely amazing people.
You've done plenty of runs in that one as well,
I've
haven't
a
you?
lot of supercar runs. I mean, anything that was going, I was on it. Anything. You know, from local runs to national runs, and anything going, I was on it. And I say I'll provide Darren with some good videos of me racing McLarens and Ferraris.
These are charity runs, are they? Or
these
are just
these charity runs, Darren, that are you know, for us, I suppose the charity runs, we get to go out and basically get away with murder for a few days.
Yes, that's it.
And the charity makes a lot of money.
Yeah, of course.
And it's just, it's all good. It works for everybody. You know, the charities like, you know, the big run like Bumblebee. You know, it's for Little Blue Heroes.
I've seen that. That was a great cause.
You know, it's an absolutely super charity, and we give a lot of money to them, even as a company, SMC Children's Services. We give them a lot of money as well, and we do our best to help out with the charity. So for us, we get away with murder for a couple of days on the road.
You get to be lads and full about you.
And you get, it's all about the people you meet.
Yes,
the
of
children's
course,
faces.
of course,
it really is about the people that you meet and the people who love the cars. So as I moved on, obviously the RS7 was great, and then I bought a Ford Raptor then for my day-to-day.
I've seen that before.
So
that was
then
a beast.
I didn't really need the RS7. I could afford to go then and go to
straight to the R8.
something to a two-seater. You know, because I already had the daily as a four-seater. So then I bought the R8. Absolutely love it. Bought the R8 in May last year. I say almost 2 years exactly after I bought the RS7. Bought that again over in England, and I waited for the right spec. There was loads of R8s for sale, but there wasn't exactly. I wanted that colour with the red calipers, with the ceramic brakes, with the carbon black, and I wanted the bucket seats. So I was quite fussy with what I wanted.
We'll get you to show us that in a wee minute as well.
I was quite fussy with what I wanted, Darren, and I think that I waited and I held out. I think it worked out. As you can see from the car, it looks great. It looks fantastic. And it drives absolutely fantastic as well.
And it sounds fantastic.
And it sounds fantastic.
It sounds fantastic.
Just get rid of that soft limiter. If Audi are watching, we'll not get it done just. It's still got a soft limiter. Maybe when the warranty's up, it won't have a soft limiter. But it's that's it now. In the meantime, I'll keep at that in the meantime. I think it's a great car.
It is.
And it's an all-round supercar that can be used day to day. You can put miles on it, it's not going to devalue that much. You know, it's not like some of the other bigger brands out there that, you know, the will devalue when you drive them. You know, I want to be able to do 6,000-7,000 mile a year.
It's a daily supercar. It's basically the only daily normal supercar that I think is available on the road. We'll take a wee dander over and have a look at the car. As Stephen said there, basically he hasn't bought this car to be sitting and looking at it, to be going out to show his friends in the garage, to be lifting the cover for 5 minutes and putting it back on. He's bought this car to put miles on it, folks. He's bought this car to take it to supercar runs, to take it to charity runs. My aspect, this car is never going to devalue it in my mindset, because it is a dying breed. The 5.2 naturally aspirated engines, they're done. They're done on the Lamborghinis, they're done on the Audis, you know, so the only thing that this is going to do is gather money, folks. It is such a prime example of a daily supercar and what a daily supercar should be, because 90% of the supercars that I've seen or have worked with or we've shot, you can't take them to about 80% of the places you want to go on, because they're either too low, they're just not economically viable to be driving about the city in. This is one that certainly is. A wee mention Stephen was on about there, it's SMC Services. This is a family business between the McCalls. Thankfully, I don't know if you know this, but Gary actually this morning has just dropped the sponsorship for us this year for a sponsorship board for SMC Services at Manor Track. So thank you very much for that, Gary. I'm sure you'll be watching this.
Actually, Darren, Gary's is actually GMC.
Has it GMC? Yes.
Sorry.
Well, we can do both. We'll do you both. So this car is absolutely, it's carbon for a reason. Anybody knows it, Stephen knows it, so we're going to get Stephen to take us just a wee scope around us to explain what his best features are in the car and exactly what that was that he was looking for spec-wise before he purchased the car, and hence the reason why he held out that wee bit longer, because these cars are not easy to find. They're not a 1.9 TDI Passat. They're a special kind of car. I haven't seen hardly any in our city, to be quite honest, if none. I don't think I've seen any except this. So Stephen, give us a wee shout. Tell us exactly what it is that caught your eye and what you were looking for exactly.
Yeah, I think if we start at the back of the car, Darren, I think the back of the car, for me, is where I notice most of the carbon. I think that the rear diffuser, obviously, is super aggressive. And I think that, you know, all the carbon around here, around the exhaust, this only comes in the carbon black.
Yeah.
Otherwise, in a normal R8, this is just, you know, this gloss black, which again is nice. And then the black exhaust tips as well. I think that that'll really mix it in the back. And I think that, you know, the rear wing as well, which you only get in the performance model as well. And then obviously that would just be gloss black also in another R8. So I wanted to get the carbon model for a reason, Darren, and say all the carbon pieces, but not even just on the outside, on the inside. There's so much carbon everywhere.
Even on the engine bay, I can see. We'll have a look at that now.
The engine bay as well, actually. So, and as you move around, obviously, around the wings, we've got a lot of carbon here as well, and the carbon side blades. Now, down at the bottom, obviously, we have, this is just a Maxton sort of kit. They give it a wee bit of extra depth at the side. And also at the front. At the minute, Maxton don't actually do a carbon. There is no carbon element that you can buy for the R8.
Okay.
You can buy them for the RS7, you can buy them for the RS6 stuff like that, but
just
for the
R8,
they've only got the gloss black, which is a wee bit of a drawback because it is nice, it gives a wee bit of depth, it's not expensive. It's just a cheap kind of...
It makes it look a wee bit chunkier too, doesn't it? Like?
Yeah, and it's nice at the front as well.
It is,
you know,
it is.
If we move around the front, obviously we've got the mirrors here as well, which are, again,
even
a
the
lovely feature
mirrors
as well.
wrapped in carbon.
Yeah. And then around the front end, as I say, look, we've got, you know, you get this front sort of splitter down here, which you can see some stone chips on it there. It's well used.
Exactly.
It's well used, which is good.
This is why we call it the daily supercar.
But it's all PPF, this whole front. The whole front end of the car, the whole front end's all PPF. Which it really adds a lot of protection.
If you can see the grille in the front of this as well. It's not as big and chunky as you would see in the RS7, I wouldn't say.
It's not, no.
It's not?
No.
And the depth of the boot on these, how you crack that open?
There's not much of a boot in here.
There definitely is, but if you're going away and you're just taking a wee trip, you can definitely put a bag in there. That's a fact.
You would get as much as you would get into an EasyJet flight.
There we go.
That's an EasyJet or a Ryanair flight.
or a bit of both, but that is, there's still some storage. The good man, Flat Stephen.
There is about that.
But one thing that caught my eye is the absolute size of them ceramic brakes. Dear God. And that obviously, they don't come on the standards as well, do they? No. They're an all option for it.
And they're well needed. You know, you need the ceramics. If you only have 620 horsepower in a car that's only 1500 kilograms, you want to be able to stop.
You do.
You know, you need to be able to stop. You know, the car will do 200 miles an hour. I think that has just 203.
Yeah.
I think they will do 203. So I haven't done it.
What's the top you've ever done on a private road?
On a private road, on a track. I've had it there about 189.
Right.
189. Now there was definitely more in it. I just ran out of track. Obviously, I ran out of road. But maybe if I get another private track sometime soon, we'll hit the 200 mark. You know.
I would say 189 is plenty for
around the town. It's 40 miles an hour.
100%.
You know, obviously.
As they say, Stephen, 20 is plenty around the town. It's just hard to keep this beast maintained at 20. But it is a fantastic looking car. Folks, as you can hear and you've probably seen on the video, we've just got the drone up to take a few wee shots, which we will put plenty of clips on within the video. But me and Stephen's going to take a wee run out in the car now and take a wee trip around the city, and we'll get a wee better insight to the sounds of the car, how the car runs, what it feels like inside. I'm intrigued, and definitely am. I hope you are intrigued, and we'll see it when we're in the car there next time. Right folks, so we're down in another wee sort of iconic part of the area, as we see, down the Bay Road. Stunning, stunning. We're going to take a wee run out now to end the video off. We're going to have a wee chat with Stephen. He's going to give us a wee run over in the stats and a wee bit of specs about what's different from the carbon black and from the entry level R8s. And we'll get the wee vibe and the wee feel to see how comfortable these things actually are, because they are a daily supercar. Probably the only supercar that you can proper daily comfortably without having issues with speed bumps or having issues with only getting it into about 80% of the streets. Let's take a wee run out with him and see. So we're in the car, we're in with Stephen. Oh my god, Stephen, to start with, I thought there was a lot of carbon on the outside. Run us over what's inside here exactly.
Well, there's a lot here. Look, what do we see? Where do we start? We'll start around here.
We can start around here, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously with the carbon black, it's not just on the outside. You get a lot of different extras on the inside, and everywhere here. Look, even up around, you know, up around here in the dash, where you would see normally this would just be black or, you know, plastic or something. You've got the carbon. You've got carbon. Then as you move right down here past the gear stick, there's carbon everywhere on the doors. There's carbon. There's literally everywhere. Carbon on the doors. You know, up and around the back of here. But one of the best parts up around here.
Even wrapped around there.
Yeah. Up around here, you know, obviously in line of sight.
Yeah.
You know, you've got the carbon right round here, around all the dials.
Yeah.
And round most of the dashboard, so you've got a lot of carbon round there.
Now this might sound like a bit of a simple question, but
yeah.
In the baseline R8s, is there any carbon at all? Or
no, there's not. No.
Just it would just
only
be
on the carbon black. It would still be nice and probably look similar enough inside.
Yes, yeah.
It would just be gloss black. Yeah, some of them come with like a satin chrome finish as well.
Yeah.
So some of them would have that, but obviously the carbon black comes fully carbon inside and out. And it's like I said to you earlier, you know, I waited for this spec. I wanted the carbon black. I learned when I was selling the RS7. When I bought the RS7, I was just so excited to buy it. I never really looked at the spec that much. I never really gave it that much attention. It was an RS7.
Yeah.
And then when I went to sell it, I kept getting asked, was it a carbon black? Was it a Vorsprung model?
Yeah.
So whenever I was buying this, I was thinking ahead for the future, for future resale.
Yes.
And I was thinking, look, okay, I've got to get a carbon black. I've got to get something with comfort and sound pack. So I had all the extras. So when you go to sell it, this will differentiate. This will be much different from everything else
your
on the market at that point. Your standard entry level.
And when we do chat about, basically, I was looking at it earlier, and I have been doing a bit of research on the cars. I didn't realise what the difference was between this and an entry level, speed wise or brake wise. Like, what are you chatting brake horsepower? What is the difference between just your bog standard, which there's not a bog standard R8, but say your bog standard to right up to your carbon black and quattro, as we can see? What is the difference, the difference in specs? Like, what way are we talking?
Well, if you want to call it, if there is such a thing as a basic R8, which I'm not sure there is.
There isn't.
They're not really. They're 540 horsepower.
Yeah.
They also come, the 540 can come in a rear wheel drive as well, which again, you know, we live in Ireland, the conditions are never, it's always wet. I would rather have the quattro, but again, some people prefer the rear wheel for a bit more fun, a bit more adventure. But they come in a 540 brake, and again, beautiful car. I know a few people had them. Lovely car, lovely spec. But then as you move up, then I say you go on here now to this carbon black model, and this is the performance 620 brake horsepower, which is a fast car. You know, the car only weighs around 1450 kilograms, so it's quite good in terms of the power to weight.
And for that speed, it must feel nifty shifty, I would say.
Oh,
it does, because I've seen it.
It does. It feels quite sharp. You know, you're talking about 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds. And possibly I've seen different YouTube videos. People have been able to get it to 3, maybe just under. You know, me personally, it's been 3.1. But that's what Audi are saying it will do. So, but again, that's quick enough. So folks, it has been an absolute pleasure to get the opportunity
to be able to shoot and video this stunning R8. Stephen, you're an absolute gentleman. Thank you very much for your time. We'll probably show you more, actually not probably, we will be showing you a lot more content of this car throughout the year. We are going to be attending a lot of events that's not just drifting. We'll be doing obviously drag racing events, we'll be attending the supercar runs. Our aim this year is to help out a wee bit more than that and bring a bit more content to the scene. But from us, Dirty Drifting, from Steve and McCaul, thank you very much, lad. We really, really appreciate it. And we'll see you again soon.
You're very welcome, and see you soon.
Gentlemen.
Good man. Thank you.